Welcome to the Armani Talks YouTube channel. I'm your host, Armani Talks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills in order to help you improve your way with words. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about how to express yourself with more confidence. And this is going to be a beginner's look on how to express yourself. There's certain quotes out there that I'm not too big of a fan of. One of them is, if you're the smartest person in the room, then you need to find another room. One of the reasons I don't like this quote too much is because it's not realistic. There's no such thing as this one mythical room out there where every single member in there is smarter than you on every single topic or important topics of life. They may be a subject matter expert in certain fields, but that doesn't necessarily mean that this quote is correct. Because when you think about it, and you're thinking too much about, all right, let me look and find this room. What's happening is that you're closing your mind off from a lot of opportunities to learn. The best thing to do is to imagine that some of the most idiotic people out there, is a genius in a certain field. And some of the smartest people out there, Albert Einstein, is an idiot in a certain field. With this little formula, it becomes much easier to find inspiration anywhere. You're no longer just looking for this mythical room. Instead, everything is now an opportunity to learn. That's one quote that I hate. Another quote that I hate is, there's no such thing as a new idea. Now, granted, this really comes down to how you're looking at it. Let's use math real quick. If I'm to say that the number 4, there's only one number 4 out there. There's no other 4s. Granted, this is correct. But let's say, how do you get that number 4? Now we have tons and tons more opportunities. 2 plus 2 equals 4. 1 plus 3 equals 4. 5 minus 1 equals 4. I don't really care about the 4. I care about the pathway towards the 4. And likewise, sure, an idea may just be an idea, an insight that different people reached, but I don't really care about the end product. I care about how someone got to that end product. Where plenty of people are saying, there's no such thing as a new idea, I would actually argue that there's no such thing as an idea which is completely solidified. Every idea is a new idea. So that's the second quote that I hate. And the third quote that I hate is, you gotta speak up for those who don't have a voice. Sure, there's certain individuals out there that need others to speak up for them because they're in such dire situations where they need some representation. But if you're watching this video, chances are you're not one of those people. You're one of those individuals that needs to understand how to express your ideas on your own. No one else is going to be doing it for you because if you're watching this video, you got access to the internet. You're already way ahead of a lot of these people with situations that need representation. How do you exactly express yourself? We got to understand that this means different things to different people. And I want this to be a very subjective video where it's open to interpretation, because if I tell you this, this, and this, then you're going to start becoming a little robotic. You're never going to create your own voice. So what I want you to basically get out of this video is my framework for how I express myself. I view a lot of importance on expressing my ideas by factoring in thoughts and feelings. I use both for a reason. There's certain individuals who will say, oh, I just express my thoughts. Feelings are not that important, while others are the complete opposite. They just basically express whatever they're feeling at the time. They don't put much thought behind what they're saying. My philosophy has been like this. I believe if you're just focusing on thoughts a little too much, it's very easy to lose nuance. Where when you're focusing on thoughts a little too much, you become a little theory focused and you can lose empathy, which makes it very easy to be like, this is the right way this is the wrong way. There's no other way of doing it. On a societal level, that may work, but the more that you're targeting and the more that you're getting closer to speaking to individuals, the more that this works, this doesn't work, starts to break down. That's when we have to be able to spot the gray areas, and just focusing on our thoughts prevents us from doing that. Okay? Now with feelings, I think feelings are extremely important because it factors in the language of the body. Feelings are the language of the body. And anytime that we're factoring in feelings, we're factoring in our personal experiences. These are the concepts that are real to us, right? If someone, for example, is showing you a very scary movie, Paranormal Activity, you understand that this movie is not real. Yet, your nervous system is temporarily getting fooled. You can logically keep saying, no, I know this isn't real. I know this isn't real. And you're like, whoa, it's still scaring me though. It's because these are feelings. This doesn't always have to represent reality, but in your world at this moment, it's real. But when we're getting too lost in our feelings, that's when we can be impulsive and we're starting to do one of these weird things where we're empathizing in a very manipulative sort of way, where we're enabling someone rather than making them take accountability for their actions. So my worldview is, how the heck can I combine these two? And I want to give you an analogy before I talk about combining these two. Imagine that you have to catch some fish, and right in front of you, there's this crystal clear water that is all pointing towards one direction. That's where the stream of water is going. And you could see everything that's within this water. It's that crystal clear. You're seeing a lot of different fishes. And most of the fish look the exact same. They're those gray, boring looking fishes. And every now and then, you're going to be presented a pink fish. Whenever you see the pink fish, it's your goal to get your hand, stick it in the water, and take that fish out and put it on land. Your goal is to get a few of those fishes throughout your day. Now we have a target, and this pink fish represents a certain idea which connects thought plus feeling. Now, this isn't something that I could do for you. This is something that you can do for yourself. But how I would recommend you get started off catching the right fish that represents the connection of thought plus feeling is you give yourself a certain topic to speak about. The more personalized it is to you, the better off it's going to be. And then you're going to let your mind go wherever it goes. You're not saying, just think this particular thought. You're giving a general stream that the water is flowing, and then just allow your mind to go anywhere. There's going to be plenty of thoughts that are like the gray fish, that are just basically going from one to the next, one to the next. That's the most often kind of thoughts that we have. But every now and then, there's going to be a pink fish that comes, where you feel charges in your body as well. Not only do you see the thought in the mind, but there's charges in the body as well. And what I want you to do is do your best to put that particular thought charged with feeling into words. And there's no right way of doing this, no wrong way of doing this. The only thing that you want to do is be able to put that fish into words. Just like with the analogy that I was giving you, you're putting your hands in the water to grab it. Sometimes you're going to be able to capture that cool looking fish. Other times you may not be able to. But the simple act of you trying to constantly keep grabbing it is where you slowly start to understand how to express yourself in a much smoother way. So if you have no clue where to start, just give yourself a very personalized topic like, what scares me the most? Okay? This isn't too general, but this is enough to get the stream pointing towards a certain direction. We don't want all the fish going all over the spot and there's no patterns. Okay, so we want to start the streamline off with a very personalized topic that's general, that allows for some creativity. And then We could let our mind flow wherever it needs to flow. And every now and then, a certain thought is going to start charging up your body. You're going to feel it. When you feel it and you're seeing it, that's that particular thought that you want to put into words. In the initial stages, you're probably going to be like, man, that doesn't even make any sense. All good. Just keep practicing. Keep practicing catching those fish. And the more that you catch it with your words, with your articulation skills, and maybe even with your writing skills, the better that you become with time. The beauty about communication skills is that it is a skill set. It can be learned, it can be practiced, and it can be mastered. You just got to keep taking it step by step by step. If you want more tips on how to become a better communicator, be sure to check out my free ebook called Confident Communicator, which will be available in the description box and the pinned comment right on below. Thank you for joining the Armani Talks YouTube channel, and I will catch you on the next episode.